You wake up feeling awful. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you're completely burned out. Maybe you barely slept. Or maybe you've been pushing yourself for weeks, and your mind is simply telling you it needs a break. So you make the difficult decision to call off work. Your boss says, "No problem, feel better." The call lasts less than a minute, but somehow the guilt lasts all day. Instead of resting, you're lying in bed wondering, did I make the right decision? Is everyone mad at me? Are my coworkers talking about me? Am I just being lazy? If you've ever felt this way, you're far from alone. And interestingly, that guilty feeling often has less to do with work itself and more to do with how your brain is wired. Reason number 1, your brain doesn't want to let the group down. For most of human history, we lived in small tribes. Everyone depended on each other. If you were seen as unreliable, you risked losing the support of the group. And thousands of years ago, losing the group could mean not surviving. Your brain still carries some of that ancient programming today. So when you call off work, even if you're genuinely sick, your brain can interpret it as, I'm letting everyone down. That's why guilt often appears before logic has a chance to step in. Even if your coworkers completely understand, your brain still sounds the alarm. Reason number 2, your self-worth became tied to productivity. For many people, work isn't just something they do, it's part of who they are. Maybe you grew up hearing things like, hard workers succeed, don't be lazy, always push through. Over time, your brain quietly starts connecting your worth to your productivity. Being productive equals being valuable. So when you're resting, it doesn't feel like recovery. It feels like you're failing. But your value as a person has never depended on how many hours you work this week. Reason number 3, the spotlight effect. Here's something fascinating. You probably imagine everyone at work is thinking about your absence. Maybe they're frustrated. Maybe they're judging you. Maybe they're wondering if you're really sick. But psychologists have a name for this: the spotlight effect. We tend to overestimate how much other people notice us. The reality? Most people are thinking about their own deadlines, their own meetings, their own problems. You're probably occupying their mind far less than your brain wants you to believe. Reason number 4, your brain fills in the blanks. Your manager sends a short message. Hope you feel better. That's it. But your brain immediately starts writing an entire story. They're disappointed. This is going to hurt my promotion. They think I'm faking it. Notice something. None of those are facts. They're assumptions. When information is missing, our brains naturally fill in the blanks. And when we're already anxious, those blanks usually become worst-case scenarios. Reason number 5, maybe it's the environment you're in. Before we end, there's one more possibility that's worth considering. Maybe this guilt didn't come from you. Maybe your workplace taught you to feel it. Maybe people brag about never taking sick days. Maybe answering emails while you're off is considered being dedicated. Maybe you're praised for pushing through exhaustion instead of taking care of yourself. Or maybe you simply hate your job. When every morning feels like something you have to survive, calling off doesn't just feel like taking a day to recover. It feels like escaping. And then your brain starts asking, if I need this many breaks, what's wrong with me? But maybe nothing is wrong with you. Maybe you're burned out. Maybe you're emotionally exhausted. Maybe you've spent years in an environment that constantly takes from you without giving much back. Taking one day off won't solve those problems, but it might reveal them. Sometimes guilt isn't the lesson. Sometimes the lesson is realizing you've been tolerating something that no longer fits the life you want. So the next time you call off work and that guilty feeling starts creeping in, don't immediately assume you've done something wrong. Instead, ask yourself, is this guilt coming from my values? Or is it coming from the environment I've been living in? Because sometimes your brain is simply trying to protect your reputation, but other times it's trying to tell you that something in your life needs to change.